Big story out of the fake news today. CBS News 60 Minutes, now led by editorial director Bari Weiss, was scheduled to run on 60 Minutes a story. They did an expose, if you will, on the illegal immigrants that were committing crimes and so forth that we deported and got sent to the El Salvadorian prison. And of course, in these series of interviews, these people were in the United States who got deported, were saying how bad the conditions were and they were tortured, etc. Now, this was supposed to air yesterday on 60 Minutes, but Bari Weiss, who's in charge of editorial, saw the story and said it was incomplete because they were not getting the other side of it. They were not getting facts from the administration. She asked, let's get Stephen Miller, let's get Susie Wiles, let's get Kristi Noem, let's get Tom Homan, let's get people that are familiar with exactly what happened. They were also arguing over what to call the illegal immigrants that committed crimes that got shipped to El Salvador. In the story, 60-minute reporters wanted to refer them as migrants, like they just come over for a job and they're just migrants. Not that they break the law, they're just migrants coming over to pick strawberries or something, and now they're deported and they find themselves in this prison. Well, if you're in the prison, well, there's a reason you're there. It's because you broke U.S. law. That's why you're there. So the story got scrapped, and of course the libtards on 60 Minutes and CBS, they've all threatened to quit, and they said it was censorship, and Bari Weiss, who was installed in there, recently said, look, you know what? We're going to adhere to journalistic responsibility. We're not just going to run stories. This was just a hit piece on basically the Trump administration. Reminds you of like kids in cages. The cages were developed by Barack Obama. All of a sudden, it's Trump's kids in cages. This is the nonsense that Bari Weiss is not going to let continue in the fake news CBS operation. So good for her to get the story straight. If there's violence down there, or if there's inmates that are getting tortured or abused, you know, that's really up to the Salvadorian government to figure out. We don't have anything to do with it. And the people that were in the United States that were sent there should not have been here anyway. They broke the law. That's why they're not in a U.S. prison. Unbelievable. So we'll see what happens. But somebody on the left in one of these news departments trying to get the story right before they just do a willy-nilly hit piece, which has been all that they've done. Now, in the meantime, President Trump yesterday naming Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry the special envoy to Greenland. Of course, this drove the Denmark government berserk and infuriated them because Denmark believes that they have a territorial jurisdiction over Greenland. Also, Greenland's leaders said this has no impact on our sovereignty or our self-determination. And President Trump basically said, look, Greenland is an important part of our national security. It's a little small Arctic island, but it's got minerals in it. It's got other things in it that are critical to U.S. national security. So he appointed Jeff Landry there. Jeff is still going to be the governor of Louisiana, but he's also going to be serving part-time for free without money as a special envoy to Greenland. So that's it for today. The fake news is going to be spinning it all. That's why you want to stay here and get the truth.